everyone, so this little tutorial is just a demonstration on how I do the Kitchener stitch. I changed the way that I did it a few months ago and it produces a much neater finish now, so I thought I would take the opportunity to show you how to do that. Now just to show you the difference, I've got an old sock and a new sock here. So the pink sock is the sort of old way of doing it, where you did a setup round before you started your decreases. If I can just show you, can you see here you get this kind of little knobbly bit just here, which is sort of like 2 stitches across. And if I show you the blue toe, hopefully you can see the difference in that area here where there isn't any sort of little bobbly bit. Okay, so this is what we do. Now I've done just a little swatch here and I'm going to thread. I've cut the yarn. I'm just going to thread that onto a needle. This is a DK weight just to make it easier to see. Now normally with Kitchener we do a little setup round. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do the setup round, and that's what avoids the little sort of nubbles that you can get. We're just going to go straight into the Kitchener and we're going to ignore that setup round. So what we do is we're going to go into the first stitch on the front needle as if to knit and take that off. And then the second stitch on that front needle, go in as if to purl but leave that on. Whoops. Pull that yarn through. And then we're going to go to the back needle. Now with this again we're going to go in as if to purl, but we're going to take that straight off. And then the second stitch, go in as if to knit and leave that on. And pull through and give it a little tug each time. And what I tend to do is I will push the needle down, the one I'm just going to work on, and pull the other one back just to avoid any stitches flying off. So exactly the same. First stitch, go in as if to knit, take it off, go in as if to purl, leave it on. Back needle, in as if to purl, take it off, and then knit, leave it on. And the way I remember, I think the trouble that people have, I think, with Kitchener is that you kind of forget what you're supposed to do. Are you knitting? Are you purling? How do you sort of remember the sequence? The way I remember it, I always start with a knit. So I always just have that in my head, that you start on a knit. And if you start on a knit and you know that, then the sequence just follows. So what you do is you knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl, knit. And that's just how I remember it, and I just find it really simple. So starting on the front needle again, so go in as if to knit, take it off, and then purl, leave on. Back needle, purl, take off, knit, leave on. And I just give it a little tug each time and then just sort of pull on the fabric there to even up the stitches. So we'll just carry on across the row, so knit, purl, purl, knit. Again, just give it a pull and a little even up. Knit, purl, purl, knit. Knit, purl. You get into a little rhythm, and I don't find Kitchener a bother at all. And I think once you get it into your head and you can sort of think of a way to remember it easily, then it's really not a bother. And it shouldn't stop you from knitting top-down socks, I don't think. So knit, purl, nearly at the end. Purl, knit, pull, and a little even up, nearly there. So we're down to the last 2 stitches on each needle now. And all we do to finish off, when we've got the 2 stitches on each needle, just exactly the same, except this time what we're going to do is take the knit off like normal and then the pearl also comes off. Back needle, exactly the same. Pearl for your first stitch, knit but take it off. So we've only gone through those end stitches once instead of twice. And then just to finish off, you can see just how beautifully neat and tidy that is. So to finish off, and I know it looks like there's like a little ear here, but there won't be in a second. All you do is you go back down through that last stitch that we just worked. So that's the one that's, you can see right on the corner there, and the last stitch is that one right there. If you open it up, it's a little more easy to see. We're just going to go back down through that one, and then when you give it a pull, can you see how it just all tucked inside each other? And then you would just flip it right, wrong side out, give that a little pull, and the sort of tiny little nub that there is gets pulled to the inside. So there we go, and then you would just weave that in like normal. So I hope you can see just how lovely and neat and tidy those corners are. So there we go, that's your Kitchener stitch.